Hello and welcome to the BTSF for PokéSins Season 1, Episode 52, Bulbasaur's Mysterious Garden. I remembered quite a lot that this episode existed, but I could not tell you anything that happened to it back from when I watched it when I was a child. But I really liked it, and I still really like it. It's got some really good animation, Pikachu's very active, I'm going to call this a Johto level episode because it's far above the episodes that have come before it. And as you can tell from the score, I really liked the character development, the mesmerizing animation. It was really good. Except Team Rocket, they sort of got in the middle of it and turned what could have been a nice touching thing. I think I regret that they felt the need to put Team Rocket in every single episode. If Team Rocket was something that happened every so often, maybe even 2 out of 3 episodes, that will be okay. But every single episode, and they lose all threat, and they just become this annoyance. And I guess that's part of the point of them, but when they interrupt what could be very interesting, touching character development scenes, it just really irritates me. Something I was going to talk about in this episode was something that's neither really here nor there. It doesn't really fit anywhere, so I'll just say it. The word explanation is a bitch. I hate that word so much because it's just so awkward to say. It doesn't flow at all. Explanation. And it's like explanation. It's got 3 separate, full stop sounds in it, and I hate saying it. Yeah, that's all. That was the rant. Another interesting side is sellotape. I had no idea when I was scripting this that sellotape was a British brand. Because for those of you who don't know, sellotape is the clear, sticky tape that you use to seal things, I guess. But in England, it's just referred to as sellotape. If you say sellotape, everyone knows that you mean that stuff, even though sellotape is a brand. It's like Hoover. We say Hoover instead of vacuum cleaner. But if you say Hoover, everyone here knows exactly what you mean, even if you're not referring to a Hoover brand Hoover. So when I was scripting it, I put in sellotape, and it's like, oh, maybe I haven't spelled that right. And I looked it up, and it's like, oh, it's a brand. I'm sure I'm going to get some comments about that. Going, oh, well, sellotape. Well, now you know. And the last thing I wanted to talk about before going on to the outtakes is bias. I've had a few people saying, oh, you're biased. I am never biased into for these episodes. I go in with a sort of completely neutral outlook, and then the episode either wins me over or doesn't. No matter what I thought of it when I was a child, no matter what I think of it now, I go in and right off the bat, I'm just neutral. But then there's goodwill. Goodwill comes into it. If an episode is good, if it has good things, I'm more forgiving to its faults. Whereas if an episode doesn't have anything good, then I become angrier and angrier. So it's possible for things to tilt one way after they've shown their hand, but I don't consider that bias. I consider that just in the same way that someone watching the episode would begin to lose more and more patience, whereas someone watching the episode would forgive stupid things if there is lots of good stuff. So that's where I stand on the whole bias thing. I don't consider myself biased, but I am affected by goodwill. Only one outtake for you this time, and this one is a weird one. Because, of course, I script it long before I record it, I have to remind myself of the things that are funny, and then laugh on audio. This one didn't go so well. I think I'll redo that one. I wheezed a bit in the middle. And that is all for this episode. Bit rambly in the middle, talking about just stuff. But, that's sort of what these are for. They're the rambly, less organised, less formal thing to go along with PokéSins. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. Please consider pledging to my Patreon, linked in the description. And I will catch you later.